Greetings duelists, welcome to another video. As you can see here, we're currently on the deck profile screen of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is a platform that I don't cover on this channel primarily, mainly because it's a way different meta game than the current TCG and OCG meta. I felt like for me to invest and like to make duels or make videos or content out of Master Duel, there would have to be something in the game that really piqued my interest that could be relevant to the knowledge that I've been providing, involving like my deck profiles and like my analogies in the current meta game. And for me, something that has piqued my interest happened today. At the time of this recording is April 10th, which means that Tearlaments archetype is being released Master Duel. This is currently the day 0 of the archetype being released, and a lot of people are like bolstering this deck's success and this deck's like playability and oppression in the Master Duel metagame. What I'll be doing here today is this is not a deck list by any means. This is basically like a board showing like different strategies and different options and different avenues you can use for the Tearlaments strategy, and why is this deck powerful, and to ask the question itself, how powerful will be this archetype in the current duel setting that is Master Duel. The first thing I'm gonna do is cover all the cards that have been released. The cards being released are Sharon, Rhinoheart, Kaleido Heart, Kid Kalos, Perleino, Scream, Kid Kalos, Grief, Heartbeats, Zodiac, Havness, Merly, Meta Noise, and Crime. If I am not mistaken, the only card missing is Tearlaments Kashtira, which makes perfect sense because the Kashtira archetype is not available in Master Duel as of yet. That being said, the archetype is pretty much fully playable. There are no forbidden cards from this archetype being released. There are 2 limits and 3 semi-limits, which I'll be covering them right now. Primeval Planet Perlino. This card is currently at 3 in the TCG and at 1 in the OCG. Pretty much, this is Searcher, has a pop effect, has a boosting effect for all your tier monsters and fusion monsters. It has a lot of incredible synergy with the Chisu cards. It has incredible synergy as well with like a lot of different archetypes. So this card being limited upon its release is very, very warranted, especially since Kid Kalos is legal. As you guys currently know, Tearlaments Kid Kalos is forbidden in both the OCG and the TCG format. It is for a very, very good reason. Since we haven't covered its effect on this channel before, I will cover it right now. It requires 1 Tearlament monsters and 1 Aqua monster. It's a Dark Aqua level 5, 2300, 1200. The effect reads, if this card is special summoned, you can take 1 Tearlaments card from your deck, either add it to your hand or send it to a graveyard. Second effect, you can target 1 monster you control, special summon 1 Tearlaments monster from your hand or graveyard, and if you do, send the targeted monster to a graveyard. Last effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can send the top 5 cards from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. So, couple things to cover here. Its summoning requirements are incredibly easy. Like, even the summon of Rhinoheart itself can make its summon possible. This card can mill on summon, it can add on summon, it can tag itself for another Tearlament name, which will trigger its last effect, which is to mill 5 cards. The fact that this monster is a level 5 monster means that you can summon it off instant fusion, because it doesn't force you to just be fusion summoned. This being a dark attribute means that it is a catalyst for other fusion monsters like Dragostapelia, for example. Yeah, this card is the best card in the deck. This card is incredibly powerful. If this deck is going to have the level of success that it's going to have at the moment, it's because of this card. And that already alone makes this archetype like pretty much one of the best archetypes in Master Duel at the moment. As you can see here, this all the tier names, at least the 3 sirens that fusion summon, are all semi-limited. They're currently limited both in the OCG and the TCG. We never had them semi-limited, all of them, in any of those formats. I feel like this is a safe hit, but it's not like the most crucial hit for them. Basically because having 6 names is different from having 3 names. The reason Tearlaments is not doing so well in the TCG and the OCG is because despite you having many avenues for milling cards, you do not have enough ways to get to these names consistently, because there are so few names that can actually fusion summon. But you having multiple copies of each name means that you are going to mill them quicker. With the assistance of Kit Kalos, as I mentioned beforehand, you will get to those names very consistently, so you will be able to fuse and mill as optimal as you would in the current metagame. I'm going to talk about other cards that are available here and available at multiple copies that we do not have on the TCG or OCG. The first thing I'm going to cover is Fairytale Snow. Fairytale Snow, as people in the TCG probably already remember, this card got banned recently in the December. It was October. Yeah, October Forbidden Limited list. It was banned for a very good reason. It was mainly because of this deck. Will this happen in Master Duel? Time will tell. It's very soon to tell. Currently, it's still available in the OCG, but Tearlaments got hit very heavily in the OCG, so it makes this not as relevant. Another card that we don't have on the TCG anymore is Curious the Lights from Dominion. This requires 3 monsters of different types with the same attribute. Dark being a very common attribute in the game, Tearlaments being one of them, meaning that you can mix this deck with other strategies like Luna Lights and Dangers. Just to give primal examples, you have other examples as well, like Shadows. El Shadow Winda requires a dark monster as a fusion material. All the Tearlaments monsters are dark, so Shadow is another avenue for them. But going back to Curious, this card is incredibly powerful. This card can mill any card in the game. This card is not that hard to summon, and it being a Link 3, means that you can make other things with it. Like, for example, this can segue into Appaloosa. This can just be a card that stays on the field itself and applies pressure to your opponent. This can make stuff like Zoroboros. But yeah, really, really powerful. Like, this won't probably be common in tournament lists, but the fact that it is a viable option kind of gives this deck a lot of like challenges against limits about on the avenues that you can do with performing this archetype. Another card is forbidden is Sprite Elf. This card has been forbidden at TCG and the OCG. Is still currently in the Master Duel. And there's multiple copies. So the reason this is important is because this can recur Merly. This can also recur Diviner of the Heralds. This can also recur with Diviner of the Herald, which Diviner Herald also serves as a catalyst for the Ichizu monsters. So having a monster that can recur them both very consistently, it also gives targeting protection to your guys. So just making stuff like Roll Kalos, and like Kaleido Heart and other cards like that, like protection, is very, very powerful. So yeah, this is probably going to be a staple in Tearlaments. Like at least the better performing decks will be playing this, because it's very easy to make and you can do so many things with it. Another card that I want to talk about is Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler is banned in the current TCG, is still available in the OCG. The reason this is relevant is because punks are in the game. The PUNK archetype, they are available in the game and they have multiple copies of all the cards. So just having that as an option available for them is another thing that can boost this deck strategy, because this card is in it. Will this card be forbidden? We don't know, but if this card stays allowed by the time Bestials get released in Master Duel, that will make the deck very, very powerful. Like you will have a lot of different avenues with this deck. You will have more and more and more possibilities. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Another outlier I guess I should talk about is Lunalights. If you've been following this channel, you already know that I am a very huge advocate of Lunalight tournaments. I have multiple videos showing this deck's success with this hybrid. Lunalight Tiger is unlimited in Master Duel, meaning that you can play 3 copies. That is very, very big because this card is not a hard once per turn. This card can be looped, this card can be abused, and with Tearlaments being a concrete strategy that you can mix with this hybrid, it means that you are going to have a lot of more possibilities. The last card I kind of want to talk about that's different from other metagames is the Grass Looks Greener. Right now there is a very huge debate whether or not this card warrants a spot or warrants playability in Tearlaments. A lot of people make a very solid argument saying that this card is pretty much unnecessary. You have many cards in the game, like Kikalos mainly, that will help you mill consistently and shave your deck like in a plethora of ways. So having reduced consistency in your deck just for a card as powerful as Grass, it's not warranted unless you have another engine that makes your milling and makes your fusing and makes like your games with Tearlaments very, very concrete and very, very consistent. But yeah, that's pretty much all the theory that I have. Like, you can play Kick Iron Chimera with King of the Swamp. You have the Chizu cards. I think as long as these cards are available at multiple copies, you are going to play them in this deck. It's going to be like a no-brainer. This is going to be a solid nightmare for mirror matches because like a lot of people will be playing on turn 0. Abyss Dweller is going to be a card that's going to be heavily played. Like, yeah, there's not a lot more I can say about this deck. You will be seeing a lot of videos from a lot of different duelists covering this archetype. But yeah, it's very soon to tell how soon this deck will be addressed. But as of right now, like, I don't think it takes an expert to say this will become the best deck in Master Duel. Not only will it be the best deck in Master Duel, I think it will be heavily uncontested. I think there's going to be very little room for other strategies to be as splashable, as concrete, as limitless, and as unexplored as Tearlaments. Like I said, there are probably a lot of different things I haven't covered. There are probably a lot of different like ideas that can be covered with this deck. Like, it's already been 60 minutes and I haven't even talked about branded being a possible idea to be played alongside this strategy. That goes to show you that the possibilities are almost endless. This is going to be my first and maybe not last recording on Master Duel. If you enjoyed this type of content, and if you enjoyed my analysis, feel free to comment. Feel free to let me know if this interests you in the future. But until then, keep practicing and keep dueling.